back.
Back once again.
Once again. Chromokopia. Chromokopia. I watched that little video snippet or whatever for Chromokopia. That shit was kind of fire, bro.
It's
That shit was
fire.
pretty hard. Before we get
Fire.
into that, let's shout out the LA Dodgers. LA City is back up. Some must we outside.
Let's go,
Uh
baby.
LA Dodgers, I'm proud to say I jumped off the crack house bandwagon down in Anaheim 2 years ago and joined the Dodger bandwagon. So happy I did that and got out of there before it got real ugly.
It's already
You know what
ugly
I
over
mean?
there. You gotta get the fuck out
It
of there.
did. I got out of there before they lost Shohei. I'll say that. So I was like, all right, I see where this is going. This fucking this train wreck is going. So I
Yeah.
got out of there. Shout out to the Dodgers coming back from down 5.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Dodgers coming back from
Yes,
down
sir.
5. Fuck the Yankees.
Fuck the Yankees.
Yeah, fuck the Mets. All right. Fuck the Dads,
The dads.
aka the Padres. If you don't know who I'm talking about, down in San Diego. San Diego's a lovely city, but fuck the Padres.
That's
Okay.
right.
Let's go, LA.
Let's go, baby. Back on top.
Back on top. 8th World Series championship.
Let's go.
4th against the Yankees. All right.
Oh my god.
Aaron Judge, appreciate you for getting how to play baseball tonight. Really love that.
Judge sold so
Fantastic.
hard.
Hey,
Bad.
Alex Verdugo was the fucking Dodger feds. I swear that motherfucker was working for the Dodgers the whole time. Appreciate you swinging at everything on that last fucking. He was like, "Let's get out of here. Well,
He
no
said,
reason to send this back to LA.
he's like, come on, man. Let's go. Let's go home.
Let's go home." So yeah, man. I'm sure you're excited.
Oh man. I was jumping up and down crazy. It's
Mm-hmm.
about to blow out my ankle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It's
know. Tear ACL.
tear a whole ACL celebrating. Fireworks were going off, being able to be so close to the center of it all.
Yeah.
Everyone's a Dodger fan out here. I love it. And fireworks were going off. People were screaming. It was great. You feel the energy, right? Whether I'm at
Yeah.
work, whether I'm at the grocery store, back home don't
Yeah.
matter. It's a love for the city and it's
Yeah.
a love for my Dodgers, man. So shout out to my Dodgers. They won. They beat the Yankees. I couldn't ask for a better way to win. You know what I mean? A little
Or a better
gentleman
team to
sweep, if you
beat.
will. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they tried. They Dave Roberts gave up the I don't give a fuck game. I'm gonna go ahead and pitch my scrubs tonight, and if we get the dub, great. If not, cool. We'll come at you tomorrow. And then the first pitcher they put in tonight actively tried to get back to LA. Like he was like, "Hey, I got a resi at Mastros. I ain't trying to be in New York longer than I need to be."
Yeah, for real.
So he was trying to make that happen. But shout out to the Dodgers,
Nice.
man. They pulled it out. What a gritty win.
Hey man, it was the way
Freddie
in which
Freeman
they won too. Coming back, bruh.
coming back from '05, then coming
Uh,
back from 6-5.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out was a gritty win. I'm glad to be a Dodgers fan.
Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean? I really picked the right bandwagon to get on. So
The West
um
is back on top, baby. The
hey, the
West been
West
up
is
all
back on
year,
top. West is
but
hey,
hey,
hey, we don't need to talk about that. Okay, we don't need to rehash that. We know the West is winning right now. Speaking of the West, LA's own Tyler the Creator just dropped his 47th studio album. I don't know how many albums he actually got, but he's got a lot of albums, and
hey
he
man.
just dropped his latest on Monday morning, which I really enjoyed because I was able to listen to it like while I'm working, all the shit you're doing through the week. It's been a great soundtrack to have during the week.
Man, this shit has just been scoring my whole week. It's been my drive to work. It's been at work. Different vibes. You're starting to again. The fact that you're able to live with the album throughout the week is such a game changer because um, you're just applying it in different places and you can experience it before we start talking about it, right? So we're shooting this Wednesday night, right? And so we've been living with it for 3 days. It's already more time than we usually live with things when we review them on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and again, you're going to work, you're doing these things, right? Sometimes certain albums don't fit into your weekend, right? You're like, ah, that's not the vibe right now,
That's very true.
But this, has been able to be applied in a couple different situations for me. So,
I have skipped on many a album
hey, man,
because I was like, this vibe ain't fitting my weekend, and then I just never came back to it really.
right,
So shout out to Tyler, appreciate it. Hopefully the music industry follows suit, starts releasing music back on Monday, Tuesday. They used to release it on Tuesday, back when you had to buy a CD. I really enjoyed that. So shout out to Tyler. All right. Let's do this.
all right.
First reactions. What was your first reaction, first listen through the album?
First reaction, my first listen through. I would say, you know, I think I slightly knew what to expect. Maybe Tyler's earned that from me in terms. I feel like I can trust Tyler when he makes a drop. At least from me, I feel like he'll do things even when he experiments with the sound. It's in a way that I enjoy. So even if I'm getting something new in terms of his approach, it's uh it's something that's palatable for me, and I'm just gonna keep trying to uh, just keep getting into it in different ways. So that was in my first kind of real like reaction. I was like, man, first of all, what a way to open an album, right? I love
Best
that
intro of the
intro.
year.
That was the first thing you sent me was a best intro
Same.
of the year.
Yeah.
And it's hard to argue with it, man. It's hard to argue with it. It's an earworm. It's stuck in my head. I'll be
Yeah.
singing it around the house.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Shout out
saying?
to shout out to Tyler and Daniel Caesar.
Yeah. So, and of course, and that's another thing, the layering. You don't catch it all in the first go around. It's definitely something you experience in later listens. That you're like, oh, you're really paying attention to how did he layer this song with the different vocalists that were on this song for background vocals, or what did he do here? You start to find little trinkets, and that's the thing that I really enjoy about Tyler albums. But even just on the first listen through, it was easy to hear just the level of musicality and effort put into the production, right? Which I think made it an enjoyable experience for me off rip, right? So I think I was able to enjoy the production up front right away. I definitely think I didn't catch everything that he was saying and kind of like the story arc he was taking me through fully. I mean, it's
Mhm.
hard not to, and especially towards the middle and the end. But I mean, it was a whole vibe for me, and then it very much. I wasn't even listening to it with headphones because I was listening to it at work, right? So I had my AirPod in, kind of in and out of it, but it was so hard not to just be enamored and like focused on the music. It's that kind of music, right? To where it warrants your attention. It warranted my attention to where I was like, "Hey man, I got to keep working." Cause you know what I mean? I'm just in the music
Yeah.
is the best way I could describe it.
Just
He surrounded me with the soundscape that he was creating.
yeah,
So
I'm just out here
that was my
not
first
working.
reaction. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Um yeah, so my first reaction was so I listened to a good because I was listening to it while I was working as well. I listened to a good what maybe 4 or 5 songs. I think I got to Hey Jane before I had to like kind of turn it off and do some
Right.
work and all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
But um for what it was doing for me, Saint Chroma, first of all, I fell in love with. It was going to be the best thing I heard this week, but it's not going to be, quite honestly. But it was like I was like, dang, this song is incredible. What an intro. Really love the, mom coming in and, setting the tone for what the song was going to be. I felt like that song was setting the tone for what the album was going to be, with the beat change and all the distortion and the production and, uh, vocally, it was very good and interesting. Um, so I enjoyed that. And then as it was going through, I was listening. Some stuff I was like, I don't know if I like this. Some stuff I was like, okay, I do like this. So I was actually feeling lukewarm on, say, Chroma, like the first listen.
Mm-hmm.
But then I actually had read that, Tyler was like, hey guys, if you're gonna listen to the album, then please like give it a honest like listen straight through, and don't be fucking up. Listen to it straight through. And so I was like, oh, okay, then let me just find a time to just kind of listen to the entire album, which is it's actually a quick listen, even though I
Yeah.
think it's like 14 tracks or something like that.
Under an
Um,
hour. Under an hour.
yeah. So so then I went back and then I just started like listening to the album for I've spun it like maybe 4 or 5 times now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went back to listen to the album for one lyrically, like, and just MCing. How did I like that?
Right.
Really great features, I think. I think he had some really good features. Like, I think that was like part of the thing I think that made it like really good for me is, um, Schoolboy Q, Daniel Caesar, Dochi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as I started getting into the later part of the album, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people liked Hey Jane and Judge Judy. I did not enjoy those tracks at first. And I still don't know if I like Judge Judy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people like that track, but there are tracks on there that I can feel like, yeah, that I feel like, okay. And then there were things that I was hearing like this is a very Pharrell song. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't even, it didn't even feel Pharrell influenced. It felt like Pharrell could have done this song, but Tyler did it.
Well,
And
and
then there were some
yeah.
things that he was doing that felt very Kanye influenced, and Kanye influenced though. That one just felt like, okay, this the inspiration from this came from Kanye. Like this wasn't necessarily a Kanye song. So I had a lot of emotions. Overall, I think I enjoyed the album
Mhm.
overall, but I do pick out songs that I'm like, I don't care for this song. I don't care for that song. But
Yeah.
overall, I think I enjoyed the album.
Yeah. Definitely.
Um, from a music standpoint and a production standpoint. So it's weird because this is either a love hate situation with saying with Chromokopia. I'm hearing either people like loved it or
Mhm.
they're like, yeah, it was all right. I mean, I don't know if I really like this. Right? There was no like people who were like, this was a good project. You know what I mean? It's been very polarizing. I've been seeing.
I think that speaks to putting something out with the level of, what would I say, artistry and effort is going to go either way. I think it's either hot or very cold on people. Because again, you're what I say, again, not to go so much into all these like Kanye, Pharrell, um, comparisons, but it was like when a new Kanye album would drop back in the day when he was dropping good albums, and it was either people loved it or people hated it, or people were kind of like, like it was. I guess I got a song or two, right? Um, and obviously, my again, if you don't know by now, my line of where I cut off Kanye being good is a little bit further than yours,
It is way
right?
further than mine, but yes, go on.
So again, to that point, that's why I could understand why people might be like, I fucking hate it, right? Because it's just might not be what they want from Tyler. But
Mhm.
I think in me looking at just his journey, especially I guess we would call kind of the him transitioning into just, I guess, taking it more serious, if you want to say it that way, taking his artistry, the way that he was displaying that, and the way that he was trying to portray himself within his music, and the songs that he was making and the albums he was making. Um, that starts at Flower Boy. It goes to Igor. It goes to Call Me If You Get Lost, and then now we're here at Chromokopia, and I think if you follow that journey, I think you appreciate how we got here because Igor was the same way. People either loved it or hated it. It was like, what the fuck is this? And people either got it or they didn't get it in terms of where the influence was coming from, what he was trying to do. And people either liked it or they were just like, I don't need Tyler to do this, right? And I don't think people are necessarily wrong either way, or wrong or right either way, right? But I think I want to give him credit, right? So maybe I'm putting my cape on a little bit, but I want to give him credit because I do feel like um, he he is what Kanye is trying to be nowadays, which is just innovating for himself and
um,
having his style, but being able to add to it and not just add things in randomly, where it's just, there's no tracking of like, how did we get here? Why are you trying to do this? It's not working. It sucks, and it just doesn't feel authentic. Whereas for Tyler, I feel like it does.
so I have a weird take about the innovation part of this album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I don't feel like I heard something like, "Oh, dang, that's crazy. He's pushing music to a different space." In terms of innovation. And because there were songs that felt like um, Judge Judy is a very Pharrell sounding track,
Mm-hmm.
right? But Saint Chroma actually is a bit more Kanye sounding.
Right.
Um, right? So I don't feel like Tyler pushed music anywhere. I do appreciate his evolution though, and I think that from Flower Boy on, I've been become more of a Tyler the Creator fan. I didn't really mess with a lot of his projects before that, but not because I didn't like Tyler. I just wasn't vibing with rap at the time he was releasing that. So
Yeah.
I'm not overly familiar with Tyler's catalog prior to Flower Boy.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the last four projects, I don't remember Igor, so I'm not going to speak on that one because I think I just spun it once and I don't remember enjoying it that much. But I'm not going to speak on that album because I don't remember it. I'll
Mm-hmm.
probably listen to it so that Sunday I can probably speak more intelligently to his discography.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of the songs, this album was good. So I'm not trashing the album, but I don't feel like he pushed the envelope for music. I think he pushed the envelope for him, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that, and I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he branched out. I'll also say, based on the projects that are dropping right now, so Chromokopia, we know is coming out. Absol has come out. There was another album that I listened, Chez Noir, came out on this past week. There's a lot of rap that's releasing that is in this like Tyler vein or in a traditional hip hop vein and is like moving away from the South sounding rap.
Oh, for sure.
And I
I
think
mean,
that's what everybody is fighting right now. Like the drops are moving away from just being sounding like a Atlanta, Memphis, Florida sound, and people are not vibing with that right now.
the sound has had its time. It's been a long time now, if you think about it, right?
Too long.
It's
Too
been
long.
it's been what 15 years. We want to say we like literally
Yeah.
15 years of just dominating the sound, of
Yeah.
dominating the attention within within rap.
Yeah.
Um, no, I definitely agree. The one thing I would say, um, what I think the style is becoming popularized because we also felt it in Schoolboy Q's album. This
Schoolboy Q's
this
album's fire.
drastic change of like very very, how would I say, it's almost like in a weird way to me it's almost orchestral, right? Because it's taking you on this ride, right? And when you listen to it, you can place it in different situations.
Yeah.
It would play well in a stadium, right? It would play well. It's like stadium rap almost, right? Because it's boisterous. But then, but then you also have the ability to I don't know, you're just being able to showcase more these risks that the rappers have been taking in terms of like flowing into doing other genres kind of within rap. So that's not necessarily hip hop. Um, they're able to do it in a way that's there's more space for that because you're not approaching it like it's not a traditional hip hop album. I'm going to experiment. So then I'm going into Tyler's album knowing that that's what I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna get a pure hip hop album. It's gonna be this what Tyler wants it to be. It's gonna be him trying to distort his voice and sing a little bit, him rapping on some songs, him singing on some songs. That's what it's
I
gonna be.
I don't appreciate him singing though. He has an awful singing voice. I know
I
people are
love it.
fine with
I
it,
fucking
and
love it.
yeah, I know,
I
I
fucking
know,
love
I
it.
know.
I fucking
I
love it. You're in the minority. I fucking love it.
I don't think so, but I mean, it's fine. I don't think he has a good singing voice. I don't love the songs he sings on. They're not bad songs. I don't love the vocals on the songs. Like, um,
I love it. It's great.
yeah,
It's great.
yeah, niggas like you do. That's fine. Like, it's not a problem. Like,
Oh,
of the
don't say it
things I
like
think is
that.
wrong.
Don't say it like it's dudes like me. Don't say it's just dudes like me because I'm not alone in that. I'm not alone in that.
Based
And
on
lest we
what I'm hearing
forget,
about.
yet another West Coast artist that's
I
putting
agree.
on
I
for
agree.
our
But if
city.
Schoolboy Q starts singing on albums or singing on tracks, I'm
But that's
gonna
not his
feel
bag.
a similar way. Now, it's
That's
not.
not his bag.
Well, I guess Tyler has always pushed the envelope either way. I don't enjoy the singing. Like, it's not a thing. It doesn't make Tyler bad or good. I don't enjoy him singing because he doesn't have a good singing voice, and I'm not behind niggas who can't sing singing. Like, that's just not a thing I'm gonna get behind. It doesn't matter who it is. Um, so this isn't like shade. Like, Tyler shouldn't sing. Niggas who can't sing shouldn't sing. So if Tyler falls into that, which he does, then the shoe fits wear it. That's what I'm saying. I don't enjoy that. But the songs are cool. Like, I'm not mad at any of the songs he was singing on, but when he like tried to go falsetto, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's not sonically pleasing to me to listen to that. And
Is
I'm
he trying
like,
to go? I don't. Is he trying to go falsetto on any song? I don't
yeah,
think he's trying to go falsetto.
when he's getting in a higher pitch for sure. Like, because he sing like Judge Judy was just like him singing like in a just normal voice, and then when he's
Mhm.
trying to pitch higher, it doesn't sound good. Like, it's not good. It's just like, ugh, this doesn't. He makes it work because of the songs, but vocally, I don't enjoy it. But that's just that's a nitpick. I'm fine with that. If you want to say I'm nitpicking, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
What I will say though is, again, so Schoolboy Q, would that come out in like February, whatever month that was, February, March?
It's been a while.
Oh shit, they giving thumbs up over here. All right, cool. So yeah, whatever that was, February, March.
Yeah.
Vince Staples
Yeah.
came out this year.
Yes.
No Worries came out
Hmm.
this year.
Hmm.
We had there's a bunch of New York niggas that I'm not gonna remember, but I will remember for Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, one was the best thing I heard this week. The album was called Nonfiction. I can't remember the artist name, and forgive me for the disrespect. But what the point that I'm making is
Hmm.
the drops that are coming out and that are getting motion right now. You know, we know
Right.
Lotto came out, that gave us that Atlanta sound, but that's still just the women washing. And we know Glorilla came out with her Memphis stuff.
Hmm.
There's a lot of rap that is coming out that is experimental for some of these artists. Lotto's album was kind of a rap love album because of where she's at in her life.
Right.
Glorilla's album was Glorilla's debut album, so it's cool. It's fine. Rhapsody had a really good project that came out this
Hmm.
year. So I think so. This isn't even like a West Coast thing. It's just the artists that are coming out that are getting motion behind them right now
Right.
have a better sound. And I heard somebody say, or I think it was a tweet or something. I saw something where somebody was like, um, fuck this nigga say, like Drake need to drop something, some dumb shit like that. If this is what we get and Drake need to drop some kind of
Oh, I
dumb shit
see.
like that. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, see, everybody's starting to feel it. Like
Hmm.
the music that's getting motion behind it. And I think this Ab Soul project is about to be fucking flames, right?
Yeah.
And if J. Cole drops, I think it's going to be in this same vein where he is, um, you know, I hope he's going to push the envelope a little bit more in his artistry, and I think that's the thing that is going to get hip hop back on track. I'll say because it is kind of off track. I know you don't care about the charts, but rap is not really charting, and I think something like what Tyler is doing is what can get rap back into a pop. I don't want to say a popular place, but in a space where it's not so generic.
No, definitely. I think where it's not like it's funny. I think we tend to think nowadays that we've moved so far away from like the structured album that has like this is my club banger. This is my
Mhm.
this, right? That kind of thing. This is my dance. This is my dance song right here.
Yeah, yeah,
This is my 2C slide, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, but in a way, I feel like a lot of artists have been conditioned that way so much that they still kind of fall into that without realizing it,
Yeah.
right? So again, when you listen to music as much as we do, you're looking for something fresh or something new. Again, we always compare the artist to themselves, and I guess what I was saying earlier about the innovation, it was for Tyler himself, right?
Mhm.
The growth that he's shown um, between his albums, right? And then that's why there's anticipation there, right? Um, and so it's just nice to see. It's good to see. You made a point to me one time about you want people to stay like in their pocket, like
Mhm.
this is where I like you. And then I remember giving you pushback because I was like, but you want to be able to branch out. But like, I feel like this Tyler album is a good example of like, you're in your pocket. This is the sound that works for you. He hasn't really deviated off of this sound for the last four albums. Really, like he has a little bit, but you lay out these four albums all together, put it in a playlist,
Yeah.
and be like, okay,
Sonically, they're like relatively the same. I got you.
he's gotten into that zone, like this is my zone, right? But
Mhm.
within
Mhm.
that, he's explored different directions. If you want to say he's
Mhm.
gone north, south, west, east, right? Like he's gone every way, right?
Sure.
And maybe the next album will be the one where we're kind of like, all right, that's either like people like are like, all right, you're going on the right track or you're going on the wrong track. But I feel like he's explored his sound to the utmost ability that he can, innovated it every time, and that's like he's a good example of that to me.
Yeah, I liken it to Mac Miller, right? Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Mac Miller, who had a selection of albums out, and in those albums, he had these songs where I was like, "Damn, that's a really good song. Like, if he went in this direction, he'd be fire." And then he released the Divine Feminine,
Hmm.
one of my favorite albums, like ever. Uh, and I felt like he was like, "Okay, this is the music I need to be making."
Hmm.
And then the albums he released were all in that style, and unfortunately, he passed away. And then they tried to release the posthumous records, and that, they were like, okay. um and I think that's what's going on with Tyler. Like the Flower Boy was like that album was like, okay, this is Tyler the Creator. And I feel like Tyler's always like pushed the envelope somehow, and how he raps, his style of rap was always like trying to push the envelope. But I think that this album, or this run of four albums, is like Tyler settling into how old is Tyler? In his 30s? Is he in his 30s? um
Maybe just touching 30, maybe
yeah, so
31.
feels like he's getting a little older in his life, and he's settling into the kind of artist he is. Where before, you're going through your phases, you're in your 20s, you know what you 20 somethings fucking do, right? You go through your phases as you're growing and all the other shit
Sure.
you want us to put up with. So, I feel like now that he's getting a little older, he he's settling into the artist he wants to be, and this sounds
Right.
like it's going to be a Tyler the Creator. And if he makes another album, you're going to get, I don't want to say something similar, because the thing I like about Chromokopia is it is different from the last one, which was somewhat different from the last one, and then was different from Flower Boy. Like, these aren't all the
No,
same project.
they're very different. I want people to get the wrong idea. Like I'm saying that they're all very similar because they're not. I guess it's more in. Again, I feel like when you find it's like in anything, when you find your sound, when you find your rhythm, when you find that thing, that it's like your guide. It's like I know that this is my north star, and then because I know I won't get lost now because I know where I'm going, I can go. Again, you're seeing the matrix. You're like, all right, I know the code. I know I could
Mhm.
put this over here now. No one else sees this right now. But I see it for myself, right?
Mhm.
And then the decisions become so much easier to make because it's like second nature to you. It's like, yeah, this is who I am. This is who I want to be, and this is where I want to go. And it's very clear. A lot of artists these days seem directionless. They seem like they don't have a guide. They don't
Mhm.
know. They don't know what their goal is. Um, they're not building up their resume. They're not building up their skills. They're not building up their just like this progress. They're not making progression from album to album. It feels like if anything, they're regressing, right? And there's so many artists I can mention that kind of you're like your first album great, sophomore album all right, and then after that they kind of fall off, right?
Mhm.
And Tyler's been able to have again progression and development um, and retain that attention through that, right? Which is hard to do.
Yeah. Shout out to Tyler. Um, I think he's got a really good album. When I critique the album, it is as a the critique is I don't want to say nitpicking the things that I because there I do think there was stuff not to like about it. Like it wasn't like okay I can just play this straight through. There were things that I feel like I suffered through to get through the album. Like I was like okay, or if I listen to it again now that I've had a chance to sit and digest it, I'll skip. Um, by the way, they fucking slept on getting me my fucking Chromokopia vinyl.
You didn't
Um,
get the vinyl in time.
no, that shit's supposed to be here on Tuesday. So Tyler, what the fuck, bro? Pre-ordered that shit and now it's like in fucking Detroit or some dumb shit. So so yeah, I'm not happy about it. But in doing that, like I know if I put on the vinyl, it'll have to be while I'm doing something. So that way I'm not sitting and listening to the music because I don't enjoy every single song on it. Like I could put on Damn right now and just listen to that album front to
Right.
back. Um, this album didn't do that for me, but it is still
Mhm.
a really good project. And again,
Mhm.
I think that so when Kendrick released the track on Instagram, um, you know what I mean? I feel like that's actually occurring. I think he said it, but he's not doing anything to make it happen. I think he said it, and now the music that is releasing is doing the thing that he said. Like people are trying to release projects that they want to release, right? They're trying to like unlock their creative space and release projects they want to have and not just like, oh, I got to put out a album because I got to put out an album and this is what's hot in the streets and I need to go get a Drake feature, I need to go get a that feature, I need to go get a this feature and then they all got to be club bangers. Like they need to be able to play in the club, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like the projects that are releasing right now are um stuff the artists want to do and that's coming through at least in the albums that I'm listening to.
Yeah. There goes Kendrick being an oracle again, or whatever. You know what I mean? He's just out
I think he
here.
just yeah, he made it cool to be yourself again, you know what I mean? He's like, you
Well,
know.
he's just Hey
But
man, what
look,
did he say? Strip the ego.
that's what he did.
Strip the
He did
ego.
say that. Try some ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca,
Uh
strip the ego. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like and then the only people that are gonna survive stripping the ego are the people that, again, that they're just are gonna come through authentic and be themselves and put out the art they want to put out. Shout out Dochi, man. Shout out Schoolboy Q.
Dochi,
I'm
you
not
see what
just
I'm
saying.
saying?
I'm
Like,
not just saying
yeah,
this
that was a
because they're all West Coast artists. These are the artists that are putting out the music they want to put out,
they're
and it's
putting
being
out the music
successful
that they
because
want to
it's
put out.
genuine to them, and people are like, I can feel that. And even though like I wasn't checking for Schoolboy, it's like that. That's hard because that's him, right?
That album was
Fucking
good.
go listen to Ohio right now. That shit fucking go off, man. The whole album go off.
That album is good and Schoolboy is everything. The even the track he was on with Tyler, what was that track called?
You having a low
Thought
key
I Was
run,
Dead.
bro. Yeah.
Thought I Was Dead. Like I was like, yo, Schoolboy. Schoolboy's out here, dude. He's on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast. He was just on the Derringer joint. Derringer and what's old boy's name? You know what I'm talking about.
Wasn't it Rome
Uh,
Streets? Rome
Rome
Streets and
Streets
Derringer.
and Derringer. Yeah,
And
he
he
was
was
just
also
on
on The
that joint.
Alchemist.
He was on The Alchemist. Yes, he did. They did a remix of that track. So
That
yeah,
shit
that
crazy.
yeah, that Ferraris in the Rain. Yeah, he was on that. So he's all over the place. The West is up. This isn't just a West thing though, because there are New York artists coming out with some really good projects. Uh and but LA, we know Absol's coming in a couple weeks.
Another one.
Or not even a couple weeks. We like less than a week and a half away from
It's
from
like
this
next week.
dropping.
It's
Yeah, I'm
like,
really excited for this. So yeah, we know Absol's coming out. And I think we got to start getting together the the trash bag awards.
we do. We
Who's gonna
do.
get the golden trash bag? So,
I got it right here.
yeah, we got to start getting our top tens together. I'm not going classic with Chromokopia. It's a really good album, and we'll have to see if it makes the top 10. There's a lot of good stuff out there that came out
Yeah,
this year.
there is. You know,
Blue
I'm
and
gonna. I'm.
Exile. Let's not forget about that.
Hey, man. There's. It's been a good year for music. It's been a good year for music. I will confidently say it's been a great year for music.
Yeah, yeah. Chloe, Party Next Door.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Summer Walker's going to release something. I don't know if that's going to be this year, but
Yeah.
hopefully she drops a few more singles and call your boy Cole. Like, let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if he's ready.
Hey, man.
Or did he
Hey,
get my
man.
memo? Cole, if you got
We'll
my
see,
memo, I
man.
appreciate it.
He's got just about 2 months left.
All right. We'll see. Shout out to the Dodgers.
Once again, baby.
Thank you for bringing that championship home. We
Let's
appreciate
go,
you.
baby.